yogis, someone reached out to me the other day and wanted to know my thoughts on alignment. So I thought I would make this little video for you, share it with you, since, you know, we do talk a lot about alignment. And I guess the question and the way it was framed is like, how important is alignment in yoga? Now, if you've ever taken my class, which most of you have, I'm sure that you'll be surprised that my answer is actually, yeah, it's important, but it's also not that important. Okay, so I talk a lot about alignment in my classes, so why would I talk about it if it's not important? I guess it all depends where you're coming from. So I use alignment cues because when I'm practicing, they really help me to stay present. So if I wasn't to guide you through alignment cues, there'd be a lot of dead air, dead space. Maybe that would be nicer, but I feel like it would make your mind wander more. So when I'm calling attention to a certain part of the body, it's for you to place your focus and your awareness there. Now, if you're a beginner, or say you're someone who is not that in touch with their body, then alignment cues are going to be super helpful. When you're new at something, you need some guidelines. I can't just say to a beginner practitioner, just come into Warrior Two. And I can't just say, just put your foot there and that foot there and hang out there, right? You need some guidelines so that you can have a baseline, something to work from, something to move towards. Now, the more experience that you get, the more you start to understand your own body and the way it moves, then alignment doesn't really play as big a role. And I guess where I'm coming from with that is that unless you've had x-rays, unless you have had MRIs, unless I'm a PT, which I'm not, and I know your body inside and out, which I don't, then I can't really make these big claims of saying, well, that is right for everyone, or that is what you need to do in order to make the pose right. So in that sense, alignment cues aren't as important as we might place value on them, right? So I guess it all depends where you're coming from. Now, the one area where I would say that this is a little bit different is if you're training for something specifically, and then we can get into an argument, I guess, about whether you even consider that to be yoga. For example, handstands. There are clearly things that you need to do in your body if you want to learn a handstand. But whether or not you want to classify that specifically as like a yoga practice, it's kind of more like a drill, and then that's where you need to be really particular about how you're arranging your body so that you can start to come into that pose. So it is confusing, but I will say that anyone or any teacher who's really dogmatic in their approach or very black and white when it comes to alignment, I would always be a little bit hesitant of, because bodies are complex. You need to be able to listen to your own body, and the teacher, unless they really know you very, very well, and like I said, have maybe seen x-rays or MRIs, they're not going to know your body well enough to tell you exactly what to do. So if you're into yoga and you love the practice of yoga, keep that in mind when you're practicing. A cue is there to simply help you bring awareness to that part of the body. It doesn't have to be black and white, and it should never feel painful. So I hope this has helped to clear up any kind of maybe concerns you had around alignment. If you have any questions about yoga, please don't hesitate to send me an email, and I will try to address them in the next newsletter.